Hello and welcome back to Ys 5. And this is the video where we get our first taste of magic. Now those elements I picked up are combined to create magic. And there are 6 possible elements to construct magic from fire, earth, wind, water, light, and dark. As this game actually keeps track of elements, there are certain problems when using the wrong element against certain monsters. You see, there are enemies that are weak to certain elements, and enemies that absorb certain elements and are healed by them. This actually presents a greater hazard than it does in Final Fantasy games, because while monsters in this game have a starting hit point value, they don't actually have a maximum hit point value aside from the theoretical maximum of 65,535. So if you encounter a 60 hit point monster and then hit up with 120 points of an element that it absorbs, that monster now has 180 hit points that you need to cut through in order to kill it. I'm pretty sure this was an accident, but I actually kinda like it that way. The regular monsters around here aren't that much of a threat to us. Stoker! Just gonna deal with this guy. Hey, I don't know what your business is. Well, you got it. Yeah, Ys 5 is also the one where they finally decided that Adol would be a mostly mute protagonist. Most of Adol's dialogue is just told in sort of a third-person sort of deal. Magic tutorial. Don't worry, it's gonna be quick. There's actually a ton of magic that you can create in the game, but it's limited by the elements you have to find. You can't buy them. Fusion Blast is just a basic fireball. It tells you to hold it, but it actually focuses much faster if you just tap it like so. Yeah, Adol has had a few magics in his time. This is Messiah basically telling you that you can't really count on being able to use your magic against any boss. So now that we have magics, we can now use magic against enemies and kill them with fire. However, this has a couple of other mechanics attached to it. And the first is that Adol actually has 2 experience tracks in this game, one for his fighting level and another for his magic level. See ya, Stoker. Now, you get magic experience by killing things with magic, but killing things with magic has a certain drawback in that enemies don't drop gems when you do that. So increasing Adol's fighting level gives him a bunch more hit points, a little more MP, and increases his physical attack and defense. And killing things with magic and raising his magic level gives him a little bit of hit points, a lot more magic points, and increases Adol's magical attack and defense. So even if you don't plan to use a lot of magic, it's still worthwhile to build up Adol's magic level. As I said, there are a ton of magics in this game, too many to really show in one go, and there are so few of dark or light elements that there are really only a couple of magics I'm going to be using throughout this game. Bandits, time for an intervention. Yeah, don't act like we're mugging you, we're actually mugging you. You know, I'm beginning to wonder what happens if you actually do have 9,000 gold when you come to this point. I think it's quite possible, considering that Niana pays you quite a bit more for gems than the regular merchants in Xandria. I see no reason to doubt these upstanding gentlemen. That's not a wolf, that's a boar! Particularly an enormous one. Okay, so this boss basically has one trick, and that's to charge you when you get in its line of sight. It's extremely predictable, so you should be able to get through it without much trouble at all. This is one of the few bosses you can use magic against. But stabbing it works at least as well. Plus, you won't be constantly tapping the R button and getting distracted and run over. After the previous boss, a boss with only one attack is a bit disappointing. Should be going down soon. There's really nothing tricky about it. And there it goes. Yeah, they better best recognize that today was not their lucky day. And for those of you who have played later Ys games, yes, this is the same Terra from Ark of Nepishtim. Though after going through Ys 5, I kinda realize why Adol doesn't care too much about winding her up. Haha, you don't know Adol. See ya. Oh yeah, speaking of money, while I was doing some off-screen stuff, I took advantage of Niana's generosity and used money to buy the next tier of shield. Ys 5 is a bit different from a great number of other Ys games in that you can actually sell old equipment too. Most of the time in Ys games, Adol just hauls around all of the equipment he has accumulated throughout the game. So you sometimes wonder how Adol can carry 5 suits of armor but only 3 apples. Lumberjacks? I ain't gonna sing it. Nope. Well, talking to that guy is an event trigger anyway. Yeah, I can imagine why. Wait a minute, someone built an inn in the middle of a swamp? They can't get that many customers. I mean, it's not as bad as Lava Town, but... Haha, not easy for you. Yeah, I could upgrade my armor, but I'm stuck with the Talwar for a little while. One of the things I like about this, though, is that, in earlier Ys games, the Talwar is a really expensive sword that had to be imported from, further east, like around here, or even further places removed. But once you actually go east, sure, we've got Talwars everywhere. You can get them for about 1/5 as much. I hope I didn't just repeat myself. Congratulations, Adol, you are now FedEx. At least we don't have to delve into a confusing mine to get the cure for a sick girl. That guy has something we want, but we won't be buying it until later in the video. Sealed cave? Not for long. Okay, I failed to do it this time around, but we actually need to find the sealed door before Faye will tell us about how to open the door itself. What that means, in practical terms, is that we are going to have to go and hit a whole lot of switches. Yeah, might as well save. It's not even really a switch puzzle so much as a switch scavenger hunt. And we'll have to deal with the Castlevania Merman pretty much every step of the way. Each of those switches raises a stone block or does some other thing that lets you access the next part of where you have to go. It's pretty straightforward, not really anything puzzle about it. It's just a little bit of searching here and there and killing frogs, because, you know, frogs are almost as bad as bats. Though the East 5 bats are worse than usual. This is also where we encounter the first of the switch-operated floating rafts. I don't know the mechanics behind it, but I'm not gonna question it. It's an action RPG, and whatever it takes. You ain't worth my time, Merman. Something happened somewhere else. Who knows? Yeah, after Messiah's Hut, you can start finding elements wherever, but a lot of them are in very non-obvious places. You can find some in treasure chests, but you'll actually find a lot of them in what are seemingly background objects like pots and whatnot. and others just seemingly at random when you look through things like grass and whatever in the jungle. I've been through this game a couple of times, and I can tell you there's no way that I found where all of the hidden elements are stashed. And considering how recently this got fan-translated, and how generally small interest there was in the game, it's not like there's a 100% FAQ out there. Okay, now I'll get the chainmail. Finally, some real armor. And this is about where I forgot that I had to actually touch the sealed door to get her to not be sick by the fire. I don't know if I'd call East 5 the king of this may take a while to complete, but I would definitely call it some sort of aristocracy of that particular concept. And here we go. Okay. Fourth wall? What's that? Well, we'll be dealing with that sealed door soon enough. But it will be in the next video. Bye!